Okay, it started. What would you like people to remember about you?
I would like them to remember that I was a hard worker, I was friendly, I was helpful, and I'd really like my children to know that I loved them. Uh, it's hard to understand all the challenges I went through, and I was immature a lot of times, but I know that Olivia and Trey, our relationship might be a little strained sometimes. They might second guess decisions I made in my life and stuff, but I want them to know that I love them,
Mm-hmm.
and you, and Emeka,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay. Who outside of your family were your major influences, and what did you learn from them?
There was a guy that named Steve Cole, and he was a nondescript kind of person. Just kind of people just kind of float into your life.
Mm-hmm.
He was a supervisor. He was well thought of. I think he had a little lisp even,
Mm-hmm.
and he was doing his job in the military.
Uh-huh.
He took his job very seriously, and one of the jobs was to mentor people when mentorship was first coming around in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
And so he come around and talked to me, as he did all the other troops,
Uh-huh.
and he mentored me,
Uh-huh.
and he asked me where I wanted to be in the military. And at that time, I hadn't really decided.
Uh-huh.
And I said I wanted to be a senior master sergeant, which is like an E8.
Mm-hmm.
He said, not an E9? I said, no, I don't want to try that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a master sergeant, which is too lazy for me. I don't want to be a chief, it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the middle, E8.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, okay, you mean lay out a plan for you? Sure. And so he laid out me a plan,
Uh-huh.
and I followed that plan for 5 years. That plan was a genius stroke. Number one, it was my plan.
Uh-huh.
He didn't make the plan for me. He asked me what my plan was, and then he kind of coached me to develop my own plan.
Uh-huh.
He showed me what I needed to do. And when I did all those things, and it wasn't hard,
Uh-huh.
I did all those things, I was sitting so far ahead of the game than my peers that it made it easier to make senior and chief or senior.
Uh-huh.
And that's the foundation for my whole life. He taught me things. He got me involved in education. He showed me how to take CLEP test. He told me how to get my community college of the Air Force associate's degree,
Uh-huh.
which led to me getting my bachelor's degree and then led to me getting my master's degree.
Uh-huh.
He told me how to take advantages of the military programs that were available to me because at the time I had a good job, I had freedom, I had a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would go into work, spend an hour shooting the shit with everybody else, like everybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, okay, I'm going to lunch in a couple hours, go in my office, I did my homework. There's nothing else to do.
Uh-huh.
And I turned my homework in the afternoon. I'd play basketball for lunch
Uh-huh.
and come in and I'd get mentored by him or somebody else, maybe do some more homework, take a CLEP test. And my career took off after that. So
Yeah.
Steve Coles was a huge influence. I don't know who he is now. I don't know where he's at. Very intelligent, but he made a huge difference in my life.
How old was he when you meet him?
I was 21, and he was probably 24.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't that much older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Very intelligent though. Very intellect. Matter of fact, that was right about the time of the Gulf War, the first Gulf War. We went into Kuwait, right? And almost everybody was like, "Yeah, let's go in there and fight those, Iraqis and stuff." And
Mm-hmm.
and he was one of the ones, very intellectually. I said, Steve? What do you think about this war we're going to?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I don't know. I think it's all about oil.
Uh-huh.
He was the only person I knew of that thought about it. He defied the common practice of going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
He thought for himself, and that taught me an important lesson. Don't be afraid to think for yourself. Don't be afraid to stand up. And, he didn't say, hey, we're fighting for oil.
Mm-hmm.
When asked, he didn't shy away from sharing his opinion.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's pretty important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It taught me a lot.
Wow. Tell me about your major fork in your life where you changed your life with that decision.
Mm. I'd have to say kind of going to the military.
Yeah.
I mean, and at the time, I didn't really think Didn't really know what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew I was running. I was running away from something. I was running away from an uncomfortable position.
Mm-hmm.
Working in a grocery store the rest of my life wasn't really what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Living with my older sister Wanda wasn't something I wanted to do the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really want to go to college. I wasn't really ready for it. I went to a semester. I didn't really do too well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was running away from stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I know what I was running to,
Yeah.
but it made a huge difference. I traveled the world. I've skied Zermatt, Switzerland, one of the most prestigious slopes in the world. I've climbed Fuji twice.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Laos.
Yeah.
I've been to Germany. I've been to the Champs-Élysées in Paris. I've been to Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around the world. And would not have been to any of those places if it had not been for the military. My sister, the younger sister Cindy back in North Carolina, it wasn't until like 5 years ago that she actually flew on an airplane. I've been
Oh, wow.
flying around the world since I was like 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you lived in Japan, South Dakota.
13 years, yeah.
Yeah. And now here.
Yeah. It's a blast.
Cool. That's the end of the interview. Thank
I
you,
would
sir.
like to tell you that this is a rare opportunity, and I think it's neat. It kind of forces me to kind of talk about things that I've lived and have not even discussed with you.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great opportunity. I think that everybody should do something like this.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I learned a lot of things.
yeah.
Yeah.
We lived together in the same house for 21 years and haven't talked about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.